I stared at my phone, thumb hovering over the location history tab in Alex's Google account. 5 years of marriage, and I'd never once felt the need to check up on him. But Mia's words from lunch kept echoing in my head. I could have sworn I saw Alex at the mall with some woman and a little boy. My name is Georgia, and until today, I thought I had the perfect life. The kind where your husband brings you coffee in bed every morning and surprises you with weekend getaways. Where you're trying for a baby and renovating your dream house together. Where trust isn't even a question. You're being paranoid, I muttered, tossing my phone aside. The bedroom felt too quiet, too empty without Alex, who was working late. Again. My phone buzzed. A text from Mia. Did you check? No, I typed back. Because I'm not crazy, and Alex isn't hiding anything. Girl, just look, for peace of mind. I picked up my phone again, this time opening Alex's Instagram. Everything normal. His latest post showing us at dinner last week, his story featuring the sunset from his office. I scrolled through his tagged photos, finding nothing but business conferences and golf outings. The house creaked, making me jump. It was nearly midnight, and Alex still wasn't home. Running late, babe, his last text read. Big presentation tomorrow. Don't wait up. I called his office line just to ease my mind. No answer. Of course not. It was midnight. My finger slipped, and suddenly I was in his location history. The last few days looked normal. Home, office, gym. But scrolling back further, patterns emerged. Every other Thursday, gaps. Entire afternoons missing from his timeline. And weekends when he was supposedly at conferences, more gaps. My hands shook as I opened his laptop, something I'd done 1,000 times before to check our joint calendar. A new email tab was open. The subject line made my blood run cold. Weekend with Serenity. The front door clicked open downstairs. Honey, Alex called. You still up? I slammed the laptop shut, heart pounding. Up here! My voice sounded strange, too high. Alex appeared in the doorway, looking perfect as always in his tailored suit. He smiled, that same smile that had made me fall in love with him. You shouldn't have waited up. How was work? I managed to ask. Exhausting. That Morrison account is killing me. He loosened his tie. You okay? You look pale. I forced a smile. Just tired. Long day at the design agency. He kissed my forehead, and I caught a whiff of unfamiliar perfume. Get some sleep, beautiful. I'm going to shower. As the bathroom door closed and water started running, I reopened his laptop. The email tab was gone. He must have set it to close automatically, but I'd seen enough. My phone buzzed again. Mia. Well? I stared at the screen, tears blurring my vision. I think my perfect life just cracked, I typed back. What did you find? The shower was still running. I could hear Alex humming, the same song he'd hummed at our wedding. I don't know yet, I replied to Mia, but I'm going to find out everything. The water shut off. I quickly closed all the tabs and slipped under the covers, pretending to be almost asleep when Alex came to bed. He wrapped his arm around me, just like every other night. I love you, he whispered. I lay there, rigid, listening to his breathing even out. The man I'd trusted with my life, my future, my dreams. Who was he really? And who was Serenity? Sleep didn't come that night. Instead, I made a plan. Tomorrow I'd start digging. And God help Alex when I found what he was hiding. Because one thing was certain, my perfect husband was living another life, and I was going to burn it all down. The receipt fluttered in my hands, $89,999 from Teddy's Toy Emporium in Millbrook, dated 3 weekends ago, when Alex was supposedly at a business conference in Chicago. Earth to Georgia, Caden waved his hand in front of my face. We were sitting in the office break room, and I'd been staring at the crumpled paper for 5 straight minutes. You look like you've seen a ghost. I found this in Alex's jacket. My voice cracked. He's never even been to Millbrook, at least not with me. Caden leaned back in his chair, coffee forgotten. Maybe it's for a colleague's kid? During a conference he was supposedly attending in Chicago. Shit! Caden ran a hand through his hair. What are you going to do? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Alex, Lunch today? Miss your face. Can't, I typed back. Deadline. The truth was, I couldn't look at him without feeling sick. 3 days of investigating had revealed more questions than answers. The toy store receipt. The mysterious email account I couldn't access again. The perfume that definitely wasn't mine. You should talk to him, Caden suggested. Maybe there's an explanation. I laughed bitterly. Right. Hey, honey, why are you buying toys in a town 2 hours away while pretending to be in Chicago? Better than driving yourself crazy with speculation. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Mia. Found something. Call me ASAP. I practically ran to the parking lot, dialing Mia's number with trembling fingers. Remember how I said I saw Alex at the mall? Mia's voice was tight. I went back and checked my Instagram stories from that day. I caught him in the background of one of my shots. Send it, I demanded. The video loaded. Mia talking about some sale, and there in the background, Alex, with his arm around a stunning Latina woman, while a little boy who looked exactly like him tugged at his hand. My legs gave out. I slid down against my car, right there in the parking lot. Georgia? You okay? He has another family, I whispered. Oh God, Mia. He has a whole other life. Come over right now. Don't go back to work like this. I was halfway to my feet when another car pulled into the lot. Alex's BMW. He wasn't supposed to be here. Gotta go, I hissed into the phone, quickly wiping my eyes. Baby, Alex called out, all smiles. Thought I'd surprise you for lunch since you couldn't make it. He looked so normal, so perfect, like he hadn't spent years lying to my face. Everything okay? He frowned, reaching for me. You look upset. I stepped back. Just work stress. Actually, I need to run to a client meeting. You sure? You're shaking. I'm fine. I forced a smile. Really, just lots of deadlines. He studied my face for a moment. Okay, if you're sure. Dinner tonight? I'll cook. Perfect. The word tasted like poison. As soon as he drove away, I called Mia back. I need your help. We're going to Millbrook this afternoon. What's in Millbrook? Hopefully, answers. 3 hours later, we pulled up outside Teddy's Toy Emporium. The teenage cashier barely looked up from her phone when I showed her Alex's photo. Oh yeah, him, regular customer, always buying stuff for his kid. My heart stopped. His kid? Yeah, cute little boy. Simon, I think. They were here last weekend. Last weekend, when Alex said he was golfing with clients. Back in the car, Mia gripped my hand. What now? I pulled out my phone, opening Facebook. Searched for women named Serenity in Millbrook. And there she was, the woman from the mall video, Serenity Gomez. Her profile was public. The most recent post made me vomit right there in Mia's car. Can't wait to marry the love of my life. Alex, you make me and Simon so happy. Georgia? Mia's voice seemed far away. What do you want to do? I wiped my mouth, something cold and hard settling in my chest. I want to destroy him. Are you sure? If you start this... He's planning to marry her, Mia, while being married to me. He has a child with her. My voice was steady now, deadly calm. He doesn't get to walk away from this. I clicked the message button on Serenity's profile. Time to blow up both our worlds. The cafe was quiet for a Saturday morning. I spotted Serenity immediately. She was even more beautiful in person, nervously stirring her coffee at a corner table. My message to her had been simple. I know about Alex. We need to talk. She looked up as I approached, confusion crossing her face. Do I know you? No. I sat down across from her. But we have something in common. Alex. Her smile was puzzled. Alex? Are you from his office? I'm his wife. The coffee cup clattered against the saucer. Color drained from her face. That's not possible. Alex isn't married. I pulled out my phone, opened my photos. Our wedding. Last Christmas. The vacation in Maui 3 months ago. With each swipe, Serenity's breathing grew more ragged. No, she whispered. No, no, no. Yes. My voice was surprisingly steady. We've been married for 5 years. She grabbed her purse, starting to stand. This is some kind of sick joke. Simon's birthday, I said quietly. It was on March 15th, wasn't it? Alex was there. Told you it was the happiest day of his life. She froze. That same day, he told me he was at a business conference in Chicago, posted fake photos on Instagram from an old trip to sell the lie. Serenity sank back into her chair, tears streaming down her face. We're getting married in 2 months. No, you're not. I pushed a tissue across the table. Because he's already married to me. 5 years? Her voice cracked. All this time? How long have you known him? 3 years? She wiped her eyes. He said he was divorced, that his ex-wife was crazy, wouldn't let go. That's why we had to keep things quiet. I laughed bitterly. Guess I'm the crazy ex-wife who doesn't even know she's an ex. Simon, she choked out. Oh God, Simon loves him so much. My heart twisted. Tell me about Simon. She pulled out her phone, hands shaking, showed me photos of a beautiful little boy with Alex's eyes and smile. He's 5. He's such a good father. I don't understand. When did Alex propose? Last month, April 12th. The date hit me like a physical blow. April 12th? She nodded. I had a miscarriage on April 10th. The words tasted like ash. He held me while I cried, then drove to Millbrook and proposed to you. Serenity ran to the bathroom. I could hear her getting sick. When she returned, her makeup was smeared, but her eyes were different. Harder. Show me everything. For the next hour, we compared notes. His schedule, his excuses, the perfectly crafted lies he'd told us both. How he managed to maintain 2 completely separate lives just 2 hours apart. The inheritance, Serenity suddenly said. That's why he's rushing the wedding. What inheritance? His uncle died last month. Left him a trust fund, but he only gets it if he's married by July. He said... She stopped, realization dawning. He said his previous marriage didn't count because it wasn't properly registered. Because he's still legally married to me, I finished. He was going to commit fraud. I'm going to be sick again. Don't. I reached across the table, grabbed her hand. Be angry instead. She looked at our joined hands, then at me. Why are you being kind to me? Because we're both victims here, and I have a proposition. What kind of proposition? He destroyed both our lives. Let's return the favor. Serenity was quiet for a long moment. Then, Simon has a father-son presentation at school next week. Alex promised to be there. Let me guess, same day he's supposed to attend a charity gala with me? She nodded. Perfect. I squeezed her hand. That's where we'll start. Start what? Teaching Alex that karma is very, very real. I pulled out a notebook. Tell me everything you know about his schedule, his passwords, his secrets. Leave nothing out. As Serenity talked, my phone buzzed. Alex. Missing you? Dinner tonight? I showed the message to Serenity. She pulled out her phone. An identical message from him, sent at the same time. Bastard can't even be original, she muttered. No, I agreed, feeling oddly calm. But he's about to learn that hell hath no fury like 2 women scorned. We spent the next 3 hours plotting, our coffee growing cold and forgotten. By the time we left the cafe, we had a plan. A beautiful, terrible plan. Alex thought he was so clever, juggling 2 lives. He had no idea his carefully constructed house of cards was about to come crashing down. And we would be there to watch him burn. You haven't touched your dinner? Alex said, reaching across our dining table to stroke my hand. Are you feeling okay? I forced myself to meet his eyes, wondering how I'd never noticed the practiced concern in his expression. Just tired. Maybe we should see that fertility specialist again, he suggested. After, the miscarriage. My fork clattered onto my plate. 2 hours ago, I'd watched through my car window as he kissed Serenity goodbye outside her house. Promised Simon he'd be at his school presentation next week. Actually, I managed, I've been thinking about that. About seeing the specialist? About having kids. I took a sip of wine. Maybe it's not the right time. His face flickered with something. Relief? If that's what you want, baby, we have all the time in the world. My phone buzzed. Serenity's text. He just called. Says he has to work late tomorrow. Going to Miss Simon's soccer practice. Who's that? Alex asked. Just Mia. I typed back quickly. Because he's taking me to dinner for our anniversary. Speaking of work, Alex continued, I might have to go to Chicago next weekend. Big client meeting. Another text from Serenity. He told me he's taking Simon to the zoo next weekend. Chicago again? I kept my voice light. Didn't you just go last month? Different client. He smiled apologetically. I'll make it up to you. You always do. Later that night, I lay beside him in bed, listening to his steady breathing. My phone lit up with a call from Serenity. I slipped out to the bathroom. Hey. I can't do this, she whispered. Pretending everything's normal. Simon asked me today why Daddy doesn't live with us like his friends' dads do. What did you tell him? That Daddy has important work. That he loves us very much. Her voice broke. I've been making excuses for him for years. We stick to the plan, I said firmly. 2 more weeks, then it all ends. I found something else, she said. In his email. He's been transferring money from his company accounts into a private one, large amounts. I sat on the bathroom floor, cold tile against my legs. How much? Over $500,000. I think he was planning to take it and run, after getting the inheritance. Forward me everything. Back in bed, Alex stirred. Everything okay? Fine, I lied, just like he'd been lying to me for years. Just couldn't sleep. The next day, I met Caden for coffee before work. I need a favor. He looked worried. Georgia, I need you to help me access financial records. I slid him a USB drive. Everything Serenity found. This is illegal. So is fraud. He studied my face. You've changed. No, I corrected. I've woken up. That afternoon, Alex's brother Lionel stopped by my office. He'd always been sleazy, but today I needed that quality. Georgia, looking gorgeous as ever. Lionel, I smiled sweetly. How's that real estate development on Bennett Street going? He froze. What? The one Alex invested in? He mentioned it over dinner. Lionel's face went red. He told you about that? Of course, we tell each other everything. Everything? He laughed nervously. Even about... He caught himself. About what? Nothing. I should go. I grabbed his arm. Lionel, what aren't you telling me? Maybe it was guilt. Maybe he was just drunk, as usual. But he cracked. The apartment, he blurted. On Bennett Street, where he goes sometimes. His what, Lionel? His other... He stopped, horror dawning. He never told you. Told me what? I gotta go. He practically ran from my office. I called Serenity immediately. We need to check out Bennett Street. That evening, we stood outside a luxury apartment building. The doorman recognized Alex's photo immediately. Oh, yes, Mr. Walker lives in 1505 with his fiancée. Walker. He'd used a fake name. That's me, Serenity said smoothly. I forgot my key. Upstairs, the apartment was a perfect mirror of his life with me. Family photos, Simon's toys, even the same brand of coffee in the kitchen. Look at this, Serenity called from the bedroom. She held up a passport. Alex's picture, different name. He was going to disappear, I realized. Take the money, the inheritance, and vanish, leaving us both behind. We looked at each other, understanding flowing between us. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. We were stopping something bigger. 2 more weeks, I said. Serenity nodded, steel in her eyes. 2 weeks. Then we destroy everything he built, including the perfect lies he'd fed us both. Everything's set, Mia announced, spreading documents across my kitchen table. Caden traced all the money transfers. Alex has been siphoning company funds for months. Serenity pointed to a statement. Look at these dates. Each big transfer happened right after he canceled plans with one of us. Because he was with the other, I finished. Perfect alibi. We'd transformed my kitchen into command central. Laptops open, papers everywhere. 3 women fueled by coffee and righteous anger. Caden had come through with the financial records, proving Alex's fraud went deeper than we'd imagined. My phone buzzed. Alex. Working late again, beautiful. Don't wait up. Serenity's phone chimed seconds later. She read aloud. Taking Simon to that pizza place he loves. Be home around 8. He's actually at the Bennett Street apartment, Mia said, checking the tracker we'd placed on his car. Meeting with someone named Marcus. Marcus? Serenity's head snapped up. Marcus is the name on the marriage license application he filed last week. I nearly dropped my coffee. He's planning to marry you under a fake name? The inheritance requires proof of marriage by July 1st, she explained. He must have found someone to forge documents. Mia was already typing. Marcus Reynolds, former county clerk, lost his license for fraud last year. Perfect partner for a fake marriage certificate. Send everything to my lawyer, I instructed, and the SEC tip line. My doorbell rang, making us all jump. Through the peephole, I saw Lionel swaying slightly. Hide everything, I hissed. Mia and Serenity grabbed papers while I answered the door. Georgia, Lionel slurred. Is Alex here? Working late. He stumbled inside. Course he is. Always working. 2 jobs, right? He laughed at his own joke. What do you want, Lionel? To warn you. He collapsed onto my couch. He's gonna do it again, just like with Rachel. I froze. Who's Rachel? The first one, before you, in Seattle. He hiccuped. Alex always has a backup plan. Serenity emerged from the kitchen. What happened to Rachel? Lionel blinked at her, confused. Who are you? Answer the question. She found out. About the money, the lies. So Alex... He made a whooshing gesture. Made everything disappear. The money, the evidence. Rachel looked crazy. Lost her job, her friends. Last I heard, she was living in her car. My hands shook. When was this? 6 years ago. Right before he met you, Georgia. He stood unsteadily. Just watch your back. And your bank accounts. After he left, we sat in stunned silence. I found her, Mia announced, typing furiously. Rachel Torres. She works at a diner in Portland now. I grabbed my phone, dialed the number Mia found. Hello? A tired voice answered. Rachel, my name is Georgia. I'm Alex's wife. Silence. Then, which one? Both of us, Serenity said into the speakerphone. Rachel laughed bitterly. He's still doing it. God, I tried to warn people. Tell us everything, I urged. She did. For an hour, Rachel detailed how Alex had systematically destroyed her life when she discovered his schemes, how he'd gaslighted her, stolen her money, turned everyone against her. He's got it down to a science now, Rachel said. I was his practice run. Not anymore, I promised. We're taking him down. Will you help? Send me a plane ticket. I'll bring everything I still have. After hanging up, Serenity hugged me tightly. We're really doing this. Yes. I showed her my phone. A text from Alex. Miss you. Can't wait for our anniversary dinner next week. Perfect timing, Mia said. The company gala is the night before. Everyone will be there. Including Marcus Reynolds, Serenity added. I convinced him to come as Alex's business associate. I smiled grimly. Then that's when we do it. Everything goes public at once. What about Simon? Mia asked gently. Serenity straightened her spine. He deserves to know his father for who he really is, before he learns to be like him. My laptop pinged. An email from Caden. He'd found offshore accounts, more aliases, a pattern stretching back 8 years. Rachel was right, I murmured. It's all a science to him. Find a woman, build a life, set up an escape route. Not this time, Serenity declared. This time we're his worst nightmare. 2 women scorned, Mia agreed. 3, I corrected, thinking of Rachel, plus evidence of fraud, bigamy, and theft. We spent the rest of the night planning, fueled by rage and justice. Alex thought he was the master of double lives. He had no idea we'd mastered the art of revenge. The company gala sparkled with champagne and fake laughter. Alex stood at the center of it all, charming as ever in his tuxedo, his arm around my waist. "You look stunning tonight," he whispered, kissing my cheek. I forced myself to smile, checking my phone. Text from Serenity. "In position. Rachel's here too." "Who keeps texting you?" Alex asked, frowning. "Just Mia. She's running late." On cue, Mia swept in, wearing a red dress that turned heads. Behind her, Marcus Reynolds shifted nervously, tugging at his bow tie. Alex's face tightened for just a second when he saw Marcus. "Alex." Mia air-kissed his cheeks. "Georgia said I simply had to come, and I brought a friend. Marcus, was it?" Marcus nodded, sweat beading on his forehead. "Lovely to meet you," Alex said smoothly, but I felt his hand tense on my hip. "Ladies and gentlemen," the CEO took the stage. "Before dinner, we have a special presentation about family values and corporate responsibility." Alex beamed. "That's my cue, baby. I'm giving the keynote." "Break a leg," I said sweetly. The lights dimmed. Alex took the stage, looking every bit the successful businessman. "Family," he began, "is the foundation of everything we do." The screen behind him flickered to life. But instead of his prepared slides, a photo appeared. Alex and me at our wedding. He faltered for a split second, then continued. "We must always remember our core values." The photo changed. Now it showed Alex and Serenity, him kneeling with a ring. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Alex's voice cracked. That is..." Another photo. Alex with Simon at his 5th birthday party, dated 3 months ago. Next to it, a photo of him at a business dinner with me, same date. "There seems to be a technical difficulty," he stammered. "No difficulty," Serenity's voice rang out. She stood up in the back, Simon holding her hand. "Everything's working perfectly." The blood drained from Alex's face. I walked toward the stage. "Keep going, honey. Tell everyone about family values." Financial records filled the screen. Account transfers. The fake marriage license application. Evidence of years of fraud. "Georgia," he pleaded, "I can explain." "Like you explained to Rachel?" Rachel emerged from the shadows, her waitress uniform stark against the evening gowns. The CEO stood up. "Alex, what is this?" "It's quite simple," I announced to the stunned crowd. "My husband has been living multiple lives, stealing company money and planning to commit fraud for the inheritance. Would anyone like to see the proof?" "She's lying." Alex grabbed the microphone. "She's unstable, since the miscarriage." "The miscarriage you used as cover to propose to me?" Serenity's voice cracked. "While your wife was in the hospital?" Simon tugged at his mother's dress. "Mommy, why is Daddy scared?" The room erupted in chaos. The CEO was shouting for security. Marcus Reynolds was trying to slink away, but Mia blocked his path. "Going somewhere? The FBI would love to hear about those forged documents." Alex jumped off the stage, grabbed my arm. "Please," he hissed. "I'll give you anything. Just stop this." I jerked away. "You already took everything from me." "Daddy?" Simon's small voice cut through the noise. "Why do you have 2 wives?" Alex's face crumpled. "Son, Don't you dare!" Serenity snarled, pulling Simon close. "You lost the right to call him that." Security arrived, followed by men in suits showing FBI badges. Caden had come through with the federal tip. "Alex," one agent said, "we need you to come with us." "This is insane." He looked around wildly. "Georgia, baby, please, we can work this out." I held up my phone, showing the group chat between me, Serenity, and Rachel. "We already did." "You're under arrest," the agent continued, "for fraud, embezzlement, and attempted bigamy." As they led him away, Alex kept looking back, desperation replacing his usual confidence. The man who'd orchestrated everything so perfectly for so long was finally losing control. Rachel touched my shoulder. "You did what I couldn't." We did it together, I corrected, reaching for Serenity's hand. Simon looked up at us, confused and tearful. Is Daddy bad? I knelt down to his level. Your daddy made bad choices, but you have the strongest mommy in the world, and now she has friends to help her. The CEO was calling for damage control. Reporters were already gathering outside. Marcus Reynolds was being handcuffed. But in that moment, watching Alex being led away, I felt nothing but relief. The perfect husband, the master manipulator, the architect of so much pain, he was finally facing consequences. Ready to go home? Serenity asked Simon. He nodded, then surprised me by taking my hand too. Sometimes I realized family isn't what you're born into or marry into. Sometimes it's what you build from the ashes of betrayal. The courthouse buzzed with tension as Alex was led in, wearing an orange jumpsuit instead of his usual designer suits. 3 months had passed since the gala, and today was sentencing. All rise, the bailiff called. Serenity squeezed my hand as we stood. Rachel sat on my other side, her shoulders straight. In the row behind us, Mia and Caden provided silent support. How are you holding up? I whispered to Serenity. Simon asked about him again this morning, she murmured. Wanted to know if bad people can become good. Before I could respond, Alex turned around. His eyes met mine, pleading. I stared back, remembering all the mornings I'd woken up next to him, never suspecting the monster beneath the charm. In the matter of the state versus Alexander Morgan, the judge began, this court has reviewed the evidence of extensive financial fraud, attempted bigamy, and identity theft spanning multiple years and jurisdictions. Alex's lawyer stood. Your Honor, my client recognizes his mistakes and is prepared to make full restitution. Mistakes? Rachel shot to her feet. He systematically destroyed lives. Order. The judge banged his gavel. Ms. Torres, please sit down. The prosecutor presented final evidence, the fake passports, the offshore accounts, the elaborate web of lies that had finally unraveled. With each revelation, Alex seemed to shrink smaller in his chair. The defendant showed no remorse, the prosecutor concluded. Instead, he attempted to blame his victims, including his legal wife, Mrs. Morgan. Georgia, Alex suddenly called out, please tell them about our life together, about how good things were. Mr. Morgan, the judge warned, you will remain silent. But Alex was desperate now. Serenity, think about Simon. He needs his father. Don't you dare, Serenity hissed. Don't you dare use my son. The judge cleared his throat. Having reviewed all evidence and impact statements, this court sentences Alexander Morgan to 8 years in federal prison, with no possibility of parole for 5 years. The gavel struck with finality. As officers approached to lead Alex away, he struggled, turning to face us one last time. I loved you both. In my own way, I really did. Love doesn't destroy people, I said quietly, but my voice carried in the hushed courtroom. You never loved anyone but yourself. Outside, reporters swarmed us. The story had made national news. The successful businessman with 2 families, the elaborate fraud, the women who brought him down. How does it feel to see justice served? One reporter shoved a microphone in my face. Like breathing for the first time in years, I answered honestly. Back at my house now after the divorce, we opened wine. Rachel, Serenity, Mia, and I had become an unlikely family of our own. The company's transferring me to the Seattle office, I announced. Fresh start. Running away? Mia asked gently. Moving forward, I corrected. Too many ghosts here. Serenity nodded. We're moving too. Simon got into that arts program in Boston. What about you? I asked Rachel. She smiled, a real smile, maybe her first since we'd met. Opening my own cafe. No more diner work. The restitution money is good for something at least. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I'm sorry for everything. He's still trying, I showed them the message. Block it, Rachel advised. Block it all. Serenity pulled out her phone, showing us a photo of Simon at his new school. He was smiling, paint on his cheeks, no shadow of Alex in his expression. Sometimes, she said, the worst things lead us to the best people. To karma, Mia raised her glass. To survival, Rachel added. To freedom, I finished. Later that night, alone in my bedroom, I opened my closet. Alex's clothes still hung there. Designer suits, silk ties, the armor he'd worn while deceiving us all. Tomorrow they'd go to charity. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Caden. Coffee tomorrow? Just as friends. I stared at the message for a long moment. Trust felt impossible after Alex. But maybe... Yes, I typed back. But you're buying. Outside, the sun was setting on another day of my new life. The life where I wasn't Alex's wife, wasn't anyone's victim. The life I was building from scratch, with unexpected allies by my side. 8 years wasn't enough for what he'd done, but we weren't waiting for him anymore. We were too busy rising from the ashes he'd left behind. I picked up his favorite tie, the one he'd worn to propose to both of us, and dropped it in the donation box. Some ghosts needed to be released before you could truly move on. And I was finally ready to move on. The Seattle rain drummed against my office window as I finished the last page of my book. The cursor blinked at the end of the final sentence. He thought I'd never find out. He was wrong, and I am stronger than he ever imagined. My phone lit up with Serenity's call. Did you finish it? Just now. I saved the document. How's Simon's art show? He won first place. Her voice brimmed with pride. The judges loved his piece about family. The one with 3 strong trees protecting a small sapling? That's the one. He says we're his trees. You, me, and Rachel. My throat tightened. Smart kid. Speaking of Rachel, Serenity said, her cafe's opening next week. We're all flying out for it. Already booked my ticket. I glanced at the framed photo on my desk. The 3 of us at Rachel's citizenship ceremony last month. She'd finally felt safe enough to stop running, to put down roots. A knock at my door. Caden poked his head in, holding coffee. He'd transferred to Seattle too. Just for a change of scenery, he claimed. We both knew better. Still coming to dinner? He mouthed. I nodded, then returned to my call. How's the support group going? Serenity had started a network for women recovering from relationship fraud. Growing? Too fast, actually. Turns out there are more Alexis out there than we thought. But fewer now that we're helping expose them. True? Oh, did you see the letter? My hand instinctively went to my desk drawer, where Alex's latest prison letter sat unopened. Not reading it. Me neither. Rachel suggested we burn them at the cafe opening. Make it a ceremony. I laughed. Count me in. After hanging up, I turned to Caden. Ready for dinner? Always. He hesitated. But first, there's news. About Alex. My stomach clenched. What? He tried to run a scheme from inside. Got caught. They're adding 3 years to his sentence. I absorbed this, surprised by my lack of reaction. Some people never change. But some do, he said quietly, looking at me. We walked to dinner through the rain, sharing an umbrella. At the restaurant, I spotted a familiar face. My mother, Nicole, who'd flown in to surprise me. The publisher loved your book, she announced as we sat down. They're fast-tracking it for release. Really? Said it's an important story, that it'll help people recognize the warning signs. I thought about Alex's other victims we'd discovered during the trial. The women before Rachel, the ones who'd never gotten justice. Maybe some good can come from it all, I mused. Good already has. My mother reached for my hand. Look at you. Look at the family you've built. She was right. My phone buzzed with photos from Boston, Simon's art show, Serenity beaming. Another message from Rachel showed her cafe's newly painted walls. Mia sent a selfie from her honeymoon, finally having found real love. Remember what you told me when this started? Caden asked. That you wanted to destroy him? I nodded. But you did something better. You built something stronger than his destruction. The waiter brought champagne, my mother's doing. To new beginnings, she toasted. My phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. I'll always love you. Please write back. A. Without hesitation, I blocked it, then deleted all his previous messages. You okay? Caden asked softly. Better than okay. I raised my glass. To the family we choose, to the strength we find, and to the truth that finally sets us free. Later that night, I stood at my window, watching Seattle's lights shimmer through the rain. On my laptop, the final draft of my book waited to be sent to the publisher. Its dedication page read, "To Serenity and Rachel, my sisters in survival, to Simon, who taught me family is love, not lies. To everyone still trapped in beautiful cages, there's freedom on the other side." My phone lit up with one last message for the night, a group photo from Simon's art show. 3 strong women and 1 brave boy, smiling without shadows in their eyes. I added the photo to my book's final page. The perfect ending to a story that began with betrayal, but ended with belonging. Not all families are born. Some are forged in fire, tempered by truth, and bound by the strength it takes to rise again. That was the real story, not his betrayal, but our revival, and we were just getting started.